Just about 8 minutes after the hour of 11 o'clock in St. Lucia and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Of course, we know what time it is. Time for Man vs. Woman right here in Hitz FM.
Hitz FM 92.1. We have everything governed.
Good morning to the folks at home tuned in via GVD TV channel 115. And of course our listeners at 92.1 and 91.1, the Maximum Music Authority.
Represent 92.1. St. Lucia Maximum Music Authority.
And as usual, St. Lucia, I say good morning to you, and of course I welcome my co-host, Susie Q. Good morning to you, Susie Q.
Morning, Asylum.
You like the name, right? I think it's yesterday you put up a little resistance. Today you're one dance would do today.
What can I do? It doesn't make any sense to even say anything because you're going to say it anyway.
All right. Now that you know that. And of course, I gotta say a special good morning to you. I like you look lovely. Jules, can you switch the cameras for us? Camera duties, my brother. Thank you very much. Didn't think I have to tell you that. We're still waiting to see You look very earthy today.
Yes, I feel earthy today.
You feel earthy?
Yes.
Yeah, the tones, earth tones.
Yes.
What? Any special occasion? Is hot out?
I guess it's just the mood.
The mood?
Yeah.
What?
I dress according to my mood.
To your mood. So what kind of mood are you into? That grumpy one?
No.
Women only know two moods, eh? Happy and grumpy.
No,
that's true. It is true. Women only know.
So women only know two moods. How many moods?
Men have happy.
Like seriously?
That's it. We're always happy. Even when you think we're not happy, we're happy. Okay. Except for Gopal time. When Gopal season hits, all hell breaks loose.
Men are always happy.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So we are on the heels of the big day yesterday. The grand jury found Amber Geiger.
Boy.
I can't say her name.
Amber Geiger?
Geiger? I sing Geiger, all kinds of... I just got it right for the first time. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm behind the mic and I have to say it right. But I've been calling her all kinds of names. I don't know. Man versus woman. How do you feel as a woman watching a woman go through that?
Go through what?
I mean the whole murder case and everything else. I mean,
listen, you deserve it. You take it.
Okay. So I just want a woman's point of view.
Yes, you deserve.
Because you all like to team up and take one for the team and girl power and everything else. Deep down inside, you're all chanting guilty, guilty, guilty. But in the meantime, you're saying, "Oh, she's going to jail."
Oh, really? Now, not this woman.
Okay, all right. So
not this woman.
Tell me.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
Yes.
I mean, I think in all counts, she has been proven wrong.
Exactly.
Right? So now she's gonna be handled. The law is gonna deal with her accordingly. Right. Do you as a woman? Because men have their feelings when it comes to prison and everything else. We feel that prison's supposed to be hard, rocky, kind of stone bed and kind of things. But women in general, do you guys really grasp the concept of prison?
For me, I don't think I have, because I cannot.
Should there be smart TVs in prison? Should there be,
why?
Special diets and I mean, we're talking about human rights here too, so we want to keep all that in consideration. But
human rights, okay. So you're telling me that if you commit a crime,
right,
you're supposed to steal, and you get convicted, right? Your punishment is to stay away from the outside world, right? For me, if you're staying away from the outside world, you should get everything else that comes with staying away from the outside world.
No TVs,
all right?
none of that.
Exactly. So you are going to tell me, you taxpayers are to pay their money for you to go inside of prison, and then when you come out, you look like you were in the States or in Canada.
And some of them do tell people that, yeah, boy, I was up in the north there for a little while. Some of them do that. But the thing about it though, it's not just about matter of imprisonment. It talks about rehabilitation.
Yeah, right.
So when these people do come back into our society, that they are reformed.
But are they reformed?
Well, in some cases, some of them do come out that way.
And the funny thing about it is, they are offered the rehabilitation within the prison. They go through the rehabilitation process, but a lot of them don't take it. They don't maintain it.
My view to all of that is depends on the length of stay. If you've been handed a 30 year sentence, you really should just be considered lost. And I'm not being,
Well, yeah, because by the time
I know in some cases I'm talking about people's mothers and fathers and their uncles and their powers and their close friends, their brothers and their sisters. But depending on the crime that you commit and the sentence that you were handed, I believe that you should be put to plant your own food, farm your own,
exactly.
Do your own everything.
Right.
You should have to, give you the seeds.
Right.
There's some seeds for the next 6 months while the seeds are maturing. You don't eat. Because you've, in some cases, depending on the crime, you've committed a terrible crime, broken families, you've destroyed lives, all of that.
Yes.
So it depends on what it is. You really shouldn't be given certain privileges.
Exactly.
Like you should be.
You should be treated like a human being, but at the same time, you are supposed to pay for what you did.
Because there are criminals who reoffend because they rather be inside than out.
That's that's true. That is.
So they'll
true.
come out with the intention, okay, well, the sentence finished, boy, let me find something to do to go back inside.
Yeah, because they're comfortable inside.
And that's because of the comfort that they.
That's right.
They,
That's right.
so we need to deter them from that.
Yes.
Also, I know I'm gonna get slapped in left, right, and center about this one, but the death penalty has to be something that we need to revisit.
Well, I'll be slapped for that too, because I agree.
Because we have to have some sort of deterrence. A lot of these guys feel like they can do whatever they want,
and they just go
because they are just go to jail.
Exactly.
Sometimes they even look forward to the court cases too, because they get to come out of the jail and see people. While they understand, they're giving thumbs up to their brethren, and the girlfriend come and see them. They have to get a quick peep at that. No,
Yes.
you should go through, because when you take someone's life, especially that,
Yes.
you destroy people. It's not just a matter of taking Botham's life.
Yeah.
You destroyed his family.
I watched his mother.
You broke his mother
about
down.
him, yesterday, and boy, that brought tears to my eyes.
Sad. It's really sad, but I do believe that we're making our penal system a little too cushiony for some criminals.
Yes. True.
And it's not just here; it's around the world.
All
Yeah.
over.
You.
With this
There's some tough.
rights
There's some tough
thing,
prisons out
it's
there. There are some tough prisons out there, but we need to revisit majority of our modern day prisons and the facilities themselves. And I think we're making it too easy for a lot of prisoners who commit. I'm not saying all of them. Some guys should be treated differently because they might have made a mistake, and that's just the course of justice.
Yeah.
You go to prison, and they're there, and they have learned their lesson, and they're willing to do things to try to better their lives even when they come out.
Yes.
And you can see those people.
Yes.
And I think those people should be handed a helping hand. But for the ones who consider themselves career prisoners, right? That's what they are. they will tell you they feel better on the inside than the outside. So when they come out, they try to do something, harm someone.
They need to
go back.
That would automatically tell you that they need psychological help.
Yeah, that could work, but chances are it won't. Because they've made a decision that that's where they want to be. All right. So yes, back to it. A jury has found former Dallas police officer Amber Geiger guilty of murder after less than 24 hours of the deliberation. So it didn't really take the jury much time at all to come to that decision that she was guilty, which is good. I think the prosecution did a really great job.
Yeah, because all the evidence was there.
Right.
You know.
Just to give you a bit more, Geiger was indicted last year after fatally shooting her unarmed neighbor, Botham Jean, in his apartment, which she said she mistook for hers. So we all know all of that. Jurors were given the option of finding Geiger guilty of the lesser offense of manslaughter, which the murder conviction. Geiger, 31, now faces up to life in prison. The verdict follows a case that has captured national attention and sparked outrage. Geiger, who is white, testified she parked on the wrong floor of the Dallas apartment complex where she lived in September 6, 2018. She then walked to the apartment directly above hers, which belongs to Jean, who was black and fired when she encountered Jean. Here's how, just to touch on a bit of Botham's family, how they reacted when the verdict was announced. Botham Jean's mother threw her hands up in the air upon hearing the guilty verdict. Another woman started to shout in praise, but the bailiff quickly chastised her. Multiple members of his family broke out sobbing and hugged members of the prosecution team. Meanwhile, Amber Geiger's mother broke down crying. After the judge dismissed the room and the doors opened, people in the hallway began clapping and cheering loudly. Other members of the public were crying on benches in the hallway. There were shouts of guilty, guilty, and Black Lives Matters from those in the hallway. Well, it's behind us now. It's just a matter of sentencing.
Yes.
And to see if there's going to be any personal lawsuits that's going to become of it. We're on air. And then we will see in terms of how much time she gets. I do believe that she deserves the maximum.
Yes,
that
I believe that too, because
that's my personal opinion, because I've been in the Jas family shoes, and we know it's a difficult time. It's a difficult thing, So I would like that to see that happening.
I remember a couple of years ago, my brother-in-law was killed. He's a police officer. He was a police officer, and he was killed by his fiance, because they were planning to get married at the time, and she killed him cold-blooded. She just chopped him to death. She got away with it. That broke down. So many persons broke down about that. It wasn't a joke, but she got away with it.
Well, I just hope that the family can not move on. This would always be something that it's always gonna rear its head. There's no way for them to get away from it.
Yeah.
The guilty verdict and sentencing kind of makes you believe in the system.
Right.
It doesn't really do anything for replacing the life that was lost or comforting the family that's bereaved. It doesn't do anything for that. That's something that the family would have to deal with over time.
Yes.
And like I said earlier this morning, it's such a tricky situation, because times when you're expecting to break down on ball, you don't, and times when you don't expect it to happen to you, that's when it happens.
Yeah,
I mean, I go through that all the time. And my son was killed in 2011. He was 19 at the time, right? So a lot of time invested.
Yes.
a lot of time invested. We were very close, very, very, very close. We had a very close relationship. We did a lot together, and I still miss those days when we, did these, and that did things together. So it's really tough. Some of us have to find ways to deal with it because we might not be, or might not have the support system, or might not be open enough to discuss these things with people, or discuss it in public or out in the open. So we bottle it up and we keep it inside. There's a lot of parents out there who don't feel comfortable talking about these things, and there are some who, like myself, who have come to the point where we realize that talking about it helps you.
That's right.
It helps you. It helps you to get through some days, some dark days sometimes. There are times when I don't feel like being around people because of it.
Yes.
I actually change a lot of my thinking because of it, and I don't wish this on anyone. Especially for it to be a situation where the life is taken away.
Suddenly, you never saw it coming.
Never saw it coming.
Expected it.
We're hoping that this guilty verdict will bring a bit of closure. It's not going to close the door completely. It's just going to bring some closure to the family.
When you lose a child, you live with that for the rest of your life. It never goes away. You don't grieve. You'll never grieve forever, but it never goes away.
It never goes away.
Yeah.
All right. So before I start breaking up in tears, so what's new? What's new? What do you any questions this morning? I know yesterday we got really heated, and I don't know. I hope you have a question for me this morning. What do you think?
I'm not even sure if I have a question for you this morning. I was thinking about well, it's gonna be kind of contrary, right? Why do men feel like a woman should never, or should I say, why is it a turn off for men if a woman proposed to them? Why is it a turn off for men if a woman proposed to them? Why do they feel like the man should propose? And
but I think it's women that thinks that way. Men, we don't. I mean, kudos to you if you want to get down on your knees and ask me to marry you. I don't think. I do not think there's a man that would turn up his nose at a woman that says, "Hey, you know what? I want you and I want to marry you." You
might be surprised.
No. I think on the other hand,
women have been embarrassed about that.
The what?
That's our job. That's a man's job. He just said to propose.
No, but I mean, okay, so that's fine. That's fine. No, I don't think we'll feel offended. It is
might not
traditionally, it's our responsibility to take the woman's hand, right? But I mean, we're in a modern world where women are talking about equal rights and they want
I like what you said. Right. Women are talking about.
Yes, they are talking about it. And if a woman came to me right now, I mean, not just if a woman, not any woman, if I was in a relationship with a woman and she said, you know what, I think we ought to get married and I'm asking you to marry me, I'd be like the proudest man in the world. I think I'd walk on air.
You have men
because we have been doing it. We have been doing it for centuries. And if the table wants to turn, I would welcome it. I would welcome it.
Well, most men don't.
I would welcome it.
I've seen a woman go down on her knees
and the man
proposed to the man, right?
He wasn't. He didn't want to get married.
He embarrassed her
because he didn't want to get married. He did not. And maybe that's why she did it, because he didn't want to do it.
She did it in public,
Exactly.
And he embarrassed, just like how you'd have a man in public kneel down before the woman under the ring. Will you marry me?
Because she knew that he didn't want to get married. She knew that. She knew he didn't want to get married, and she decided that she was going to corner him. And just like any dog, you corner him, he's going to come out biting. So that's why he embarrassed her.
That's cornering him?
Yes. Because you're more, I'm sure she would have gotten a different reaction if she did it at home. the traditional way,
So
some
you would
nice
have said
dinner,
yes.
some nice dinner, maybe some wine and all that, and he might have said yes. She would have had a different outcome. But to do it in front of all the neighbors.
So okay, why is it okay for the man to do it in public in front of everybody?
No, but because that's traditional. Like I said, the reason why I believe he embarrassed her, as you said, is because she already knew beforehand that he was not interested.
I don't think so.
And she just
why would she set herself
well, no, maybe she was saying, "No, you're not interested, but you better do it." So women just give men ultimatum.
Men give women ultimatum too.
Listen to you. I giving you till the end of the year to put a ring on this finger. If not, I'm gone. I've heard that many times.
Why not?
So maybe that's what happened there.
Why not?
Why would you do that though? Why would you give me an ultimatum?
No ding. Won't you?
But you already dinging. You have so much dings. It's like a whole car. You have so many dings. That's like an old vehicle. one of those flat trucks. You know the flat trucks. You have so many.
Let us continue.
You have so many things. I can relate you to one of those flat trucks like that. The shellfish. You know the fish trucks.
Let's continue.
All right.
Moving along.
We have a situation this morning.
Yes.
And yesterday we weren't able to get to our situation, but we're gonna get to it this morning, right?
Yes.
All right. You want to do the honors?
All right. Let me see if I can find the situation.
All right.
Where is it? Give me a second there. I'm trying to see if I can find this thing for me to read it. But okay, there we go.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so it says, Dear Asylum and Suzette.
See, they get your name already, yeah?
My ex, yeah.
All right.
My ex-boyfriend, and it's not. They didn't say Susie Q. They said Suzette.
Oh, okay.
Dear Asylum and Suzette. My ex-boyfriend and I like each other again.
Again?
Again? Okay.
Ex-boyfriend. All right. I got you.
It's like some
reuniting the
yes.
fire stick catch back.
I tell you. We went out at the beginning of this school year. Then about a month ago, he and my best friend started going out with my consent.
Oh.
My ex-boyfriend and I like each other again. Now he started going out with my best friend.
So,
okay, with her consent. Let's move on.
All right, that's all kind of big rule.
Since my best friend did not want me mad at her, she asked my permission. I was talking to my ex and he told me that he likes me. He even told me that he liked me when he was going out with my best friend, but couldn't change his mind like that fast. So he went out with her. Now we are still good friends, but I want us to get back together. What do I do?
Wow. So you broke up with your ex. Your best friend said to you that I like your ex, so can I date your ex? They started dating. Now you want your ex back?
No, but you don't see. She's saying that the ex says that he likes her. He still likes her.
And he still wants her back. And she wants her back. So
and she wants him back.
Sounds like a little mix up there, but one little booyah there this morning.
Right.
So I mean, and this is the thing. I have had, always had an issue with dating people that was with a friend of mine.
Yeah, please.
That's almost like dating your brother's girlfriend or marrying your brother's girlfriend. I don't, because it always brings awkwardness to it, especially when you're intimate and you get together.
Right. You going out and you see.
It's not even a love triangle. It's a friend triangle.
You end up in the same place.
The same place. So you're dating this guy. You and the guy break up. Your friend says I like him. So would you be okay if I hook up with him? Mate is just playing these women.
I think that's my thought exactly. If he likes you, right? Why is he still with her?
Right.
That just don't make no sense.
Mate is just playing a game. I mean, you guys are making it easy for him, right? You young ladies don't seem to have your head on your shoulder, because I mean, there's no way I am going to encourage my sister to encourage her best friend to be with her ex.
Exactly.
That doesn't even sound right.
And then you're coming back to me.
And then you say,
the fact that you were willing to date my best friend.
I think, you know what? I take it back. Mate get it good. He's gonna get it good.
Seriously?
He's gonna have his cake and eat it too.
Are you serious?
But that's
right
what
now?
it is. That's what it is. I mean, and that's what I talked about the other day when I said that a lot of women make it very easy for men to take advantage of them.
True.
I mean, how can he have respect for you, both of you, as a matter of fact, knowing that he was dating one, you guys are best friends, and you were okay with him dating your best friend and coming back to you?
Yeah.
He would have no respect for you.
Exactly.
Neither of you.
That is too up close and personal.
It's more than up close and personal. I think it's gonna be a situation where, you know, anything goes.
The man just like the position of having,
He's
you know,
comfortable,
two girls
it's easy.
wanting him.
Yes.
You know, the macho kind of, men thing, you know. Man,
what would you do if you were in the ex's situation?
What would I do?
Yeah, he wants you back after dating your best friend.
What would I do? I would be in that situation.
I want to hear. No, I want to hear. I want to hear.
I would
Don't try that.
I would not be in that situation, period.
Do not try that.
I would not be in a situation like that, period.
Things happen.
If it were to happen, it would have happened already.
Okay, well,
it would not happen,
so
period.
You're not going to put yourself there. So
no way.
So you're saying that this girl made a major mistake when she did
that. Major mistake.
What kind of advice would you offer to her for that? I mean, like, she...
Move on. Why are you hanging on to this man saying that you still like him and he likes you? The fact that he was willing to date your best friend.
That's right? I think that sounds like Tamara. Tamara, is that you that
you're waking up, Tamara?
Yeah, get Tamara in on this real early. Tamara, your name calling. Your name calling.
Yes, like I was saying. There's no way you're going to be dating my best friend,
right?
And then you're going to come back to me. What you playing? Boy, what you trying?
I'm not playing anything, but I tell you right now, if that's how the game going, I can play.
Okay,
we got a caller here. We have a call coming in. Let me just see. We're getting our phone is messing around there this morning. Let's just see what's happening.
Play the player role.
You
play the player role, you'll get played.
I believe that's what's happening here. Mate is finding it very easy with these two young women. They're making it easy for him to take advantage of them, and that's what he's doing.
Right. I believe so too. You just open up yourself for this man to just come and do as he please. I don't know. That's not up my alley at all. No, I'll not date a man. And then, as a matter of fact, if you're my best friend, you wouldn't even think about coming to ask me, if you could go and date. We're like sisters. Why would you want to go date the man that I was dating?
We got a caller. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Miss Solomon, Susie Q.
Susie Q, yeah.
You too?
That's my no. Let's get something. Let's get something straight here, man.
And listen to what him say now.
Man,
hold on, Asylum. Listen to what him say. Susie Q. you hear the tone.
I'm gonna put a stop to this right now, sir.
Aye.
Sir, it's not Susie Q. All right, that is for me. All right.
You see what you start off.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, Asylum, and my pretty little Suzette.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Asylum, and my pretty little Suzette.
First of all, on this topic, right? Okay, it is her ex, right? She left him.
Right.
She gave her friend permission to date him.
Permission? So does she own? Does she?
But that's what she did.
Like it's approval to date.
It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay if you did that. I wouldn't be upset with you. Kind of right.
Okay, but the thing is that while they dating, she
Catching
realized
feelings.
that he's giving her something that she was not getting. So all that just create the crave of wanting him back. That's what we got there.
I think so. I believe so. That's exactly what happened.
So if he was not treating her much better than he was treating him, she would not want him back. But she saw that oh no, he's treating her much better than me.
Yes.
So it's time for me to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just now falling into the trap now, saying, oh yeah, I wanted you. And like,
I agree with you. A lot of women are like that. They let the man go, and until they see, that, he's treating the other woman so well, they want to pull back to the man at whatever cost. It doesn't matter to them how it happens. All they know is that they want to be with the man again because, something is now there for them to get. I agree with you.
Right, and then that's how I feel on that. And also on the topic before, you said Amber Geiger got life.
No, I said
I don't think that was just.
All right.
You know why? There is prisoners in the states who commit murder and facing triple life sentence consecutively.
Right.
Quadruple life quadruple, consecutively. And she only got one life sentence.
But have they handed down the sentencing yet? She hasn't been sentenced yet. It says up from 5. I think from what I.
But guess what?
Mm-hmm.
I could assure you that she might only get life in prison.
That's good enough for me.
Not triple.
That's good enough for me. I don't think she needs triple. What I'm concerned with, what I would be concerned with, is the length of time for parole.
She needs triple. You know why she needs triple?
All right.
It was premeditated. She knew exactly
what she was doing.
All right.
If you were so subconscious when you get off work to go to your locker, right? Go to the right locker, open the right locker, take your bag, grab your keys, go to the right parking spot,
get your new vehicle,
and drive all the way down the road and get to the apartment, and then you're gonna say you thought it was your apartment.
But she said it understand, she shoot him to kill him.
Yeah, but hold on. As an officer, right? You go into your house, you say an apartment, and you hear somebody in there. She was on the phone with her partner. The first instinct, somebody's in your apartment. You call 911.
Yes.
Give your badge number. You ask for. Wait till backup come.
Mm-hmm. That's protocol. She didn't follow protocol.
That's protocol.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You understand?
All right.
I believe this was a love affair that went bad. Probably the man decided he didn't want her no more. She decided, well, guess what? If I'm not having you, nobody ain't gonna have you.
That's what happened to my brother-in-law.
Wow. Man versus woman. Do men handle these things different than women?
Yeah. We just go out with boys and then
naturally. Yeah.
Couple.
We don't handle situations the way men do. Men don't handle situations the way we do.
Well, it depends on the situation, but the thing is, I mean, when it comes to matters of the heart, especially, and this is probably
when it comes to matters of the heart, women take it to another level.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they say hell sees no wrath as a woman's fury, something like that. Is that the saying? is that the saying? So y'all will go all out, and that's the thing, I mean, I think too when and I've seen it a lot in my lifetime where a man and a woman have a relationship and they break up, and the woman would be the one that would go all out to pull the carpet from out from under him. Why is that?
I don't know.
She'll make sure everyone know every bad thing he's ever done.
But that's not
the good things. Every bad thing he's ever done.
That's wrong. Yeah. And I would disagree with any woman who does that.
But women are more likely to do that, though.
You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the reason why. Mm-hmm. He's not with her no more. She's afraid that what she was getting was so good that she don't want nobody to have it. Guess what?
That's not always the case.
That's
not always the case. I mean, the latter part of your statement there, is true, where she would go all out to make sure nobody gets him again. So she would do whatever she can to destroy his name and his reputation.
Completely. That nobody don't want it.
That nobody wanted.
That can't want it.
She mashed it up so bad, and at the end of the day, you can look at it this way.
But that's silly. There's always somebody that will want him.
Yeah, but it in their mind, the more terrible things they can say, is the less of a person that you would end up being with.
True.
Nobody in their right mind would want him after I'm done with him.
That's just cruel.
Why do women do that? Whereas men
I don't know.
You know, sometimes we as men, whenever we act up, especially when there's an ex involved, our thing is, it's sort of a bit of disbelief sometimes when you see them with other people, and I can't believe that you weren't willing to work on what we had, but you were willing to start something new, something that's uncharted. You don't even know where that's going to take you, and all of that. And that's just how we look at it. Whereas women will say, we're done? All right, let me tell you what's going to happen to you now. From here on, you're going to lose everything that you own.
And not only that, they see you and the woman on the street and they want to attack the woman.
you know.
But that's just crazy, though.
See that they're married, they're going to take the house, everything.
Everything.
That's unfair.
Everything.
Then,
I don't agree with women doing that.
And then you walking down the road now and you see Tom Jones sit down in your gallery and saying, yeah, boy.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
I don't agree with that.
There's a gentleman who got a divorce, and they split everything in half, and he just decided that okay. He took a chainsaw to the house.
Oh, yeah, cut everything in half.
Everything he cut in half.
Oh my God!
They had 4 chairs. He gave her 2. He take 2 and cut the table in half the table. So he did everything in half.
Jesus.
Now that's the man for me. Now that's the man. But why do we need to go down that road?
But these,
why do relationships become bitter?
I often wonder.
Two people that once loved and care about each other.
I often wonder that.
Get to the point where they hate each other. How does that happen?
Love turn hate.
Well, okay, I would play devil advocate. It's like this. On the man's side, sometimes we men, we do all that we have to do to get that woman.
Right.
When we get her, all what we were doing in the beginning, we stop it.
We stop it.
I
can relate to that. I definitely can. I mean, I'm sure. But I said that the other day. It's like when two people get together, when you just meet a man meet a woman meet a man, they do all kinds of stuff together. Grocery Friday night, ancillary. They even go and ancillary without even knowing how they're getting back. And together they should chad. They chad the road together and get back together. And then once they become an item, it's like these things, they just sort of dwindle away.
Let me tell you,
and that's what kills a relationship.
Let me tell you what happens in cases like these. You find that as you say in the beginning, things are good and stuff like that. But one of the individual may make a mistake. Just one. It can even be something simple. Make one simple mistake, and human beings have the tendency to hold on to things. Yes. So you moving on in the relationship and you still holding that in the back of your head, or she's still holding that in the back of her head. You find that instead of the relationship going forward, that one thing is weighing it down all the time, and it's not being dealt with right. Then you find they begin to grow apart.
Now, with that being said,
people do not forgive and forget.
That's right.
I'm just about to get to that. With that being said, can you say that people truly forgive people?
Well, people can truly forgive people. You can, but the forgetful part of it, you have to use other things to, it's not going to totally go away, but you can use other things to cushion it, cover it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I am under the impression, and I've always been a firm believer of, if in fact you say that you are going to forgive someone, you need to learn to forget.
No, you not forget. Not the way our brains are wired.
You see, the thing is, I'm not talking about forgetting as in losing complete memory of it.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
Don't regurgitate.
Yes.
And when something happens, you remember the time you think I'm going to forget what you did back then, but you've already said that you've forgiven me. But you keep every chance that rears its head, we talk about it again. I'll never forget the time when you did this, or I'll never forget when that happened.
These things kill relationships.
So how can you simply say that you forgive someone if you're still holding on to it? To the core part of it. Yes, in your mind you would know that there was a bad time in the relationship and that was the outcome. Right. But if you say that you truly forgive that person, then that shouldn't be remanifesting itself all the time.
Yes, these are the things that kill relationship.
Call, am I right or wrong?
Because if you totally forgive somebody, you should learn how to
deal with
in
it
the past and move on.
Yeah, move on.
Do not bring it back up.
You know.
And that's what love does.
Because if
Love makes you bring it back.
No, it makes you put it aside.
Oh, okay.
If you bring it back up, if you bring it back up, then you never really truly love that person.
Right.
Never
Well,
forgive
I
them.
wouldn't say truly love that person. I mean, mind you, we can love someone to death and still hate the bad things about them, right?
But love knows no boundaries, right?
It's supposed to be that way, but just remember, we are all individuals and we all have our own flaws, right? Not because we're in a relationship that means that things that I like you would necessarily like. Things that I do or partake in that you would necessarily partake in. So we're two different people. So you're always gonna have that.
That's why you get to know the person.
Yeah.
Whether it's a marriage, whether it's just a relationship.
But getting to know the person doesn't mean
the first 3 years. Look, the first 3 years is the roughest part.
right. Getting to know the
After that
person
first
doesn't
3
necessarily
years.
mean that you're gonna like everything that they do or everything that they're about.
Right. But that's where y'all supposed to put out,
What it does, getting to know the person, you get to understand why the person thinks that way or why the person does that or why they react that way. And maybe by understanding you can tolerate it.
Right, but that's why in the beginning,
Or tolerate it more.
You all sit down and you all tell each other your do's and your don'ts. What you like, what you don't like.
Communication
Communication is 100% key.
Yes.
So now I know what you don't like. You think I'm gonna do it to get you upset? No.
Right. And it only goes to show that you respect the person and you really love the person.
Yep.
If you love somebody and you respect them, you will not do what they don't like. Period. Now, what I believe happens is that in the initial stage of relationships, that's like the sweet, what you call the sweet stage, and then you find that as you go along past that stage, people begin to know each other, right? That's where you find they begin to know, oh, he has a corn on his toes and I hate corns, and all the things that you never knew about the person, you begin to find them out, and you begin to and then at that point, instead of just saying, listen, I don't think this is going to work out, you stay in the relationship, and all these faults, all these flaws, you're not dealing with them. As you say, you're not communicating, you're not talking to the person. It brings resentment in the relationship.
True.
And then when the resentment starts, that's where everything that the individual does, it bothers you, and you begin to nag.
Edgy,
and
edgy.
Right.
And sometimes you're even waiting there for the right moment to,
Exactly. You're just waiting for the moment to say,
Yeah.
oh yes, you have to go, I don't want you anymore, and whatever.
Right.
So people need to understand that when you are dating that is why when you're during that sweet stage, you get to find out more about the person. Don't wait until you're just dating, and you're going out, you're not even trying to find out who this person is.
In that stage, in that initial stage, sometimes we're so caught up with just being around.
Not wise.
We're not even thinking properly.
Not wise.
We don't even think properly.
If I'm going to date somebody, I want you to be real with me.
True.
All you're going to be doing is taking away from me my rights of deciding whether or not you are the one. Don't take that away from me. Be you. Be real with me when we start dating.
But that's the thing. I would say majority of relationships start on a lie.
Well,
because when I say that, I don't mean a physical lie.
Yeah.
But it starts with people trying to give a different impression of really who they are.
Exactly. Be real, man.
Right? That's how it usually starts. It starts with people giving a wrong impression of who they really are, or a representation of who they really are.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm Mr. Clean,
Yes.
Nice and bald.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden when you get together, you start finding out things about each other then in some cases it might be too late to turn back for some people.
Yeah.
Or they decide that they've invested too much to turn back.
And then the relationship
But-
just there and
Yeah, it's
the
very rare.
cheating starts because that's not what you were looking for.
I think
but-
some of the best relationships are the ones that, when people start at a very young age together, they grow together. You know, you talk about
Yes.
high school sweethearts,
Yes,
or
yes.
even they're in the same neighborhood and they grow up together and
Yes.
they're always together. I think because they know everything there is to know
everything about each other.
each other. Then again, the question I'm gonna ask this question: Is it a wise thing when you get into a relationship to educate that person about your past?
Why not? Because listen,
So go ahead, caller.
Sometimes it is, but I've known individuals that they met each other and a month or two later, after dating, they get married, and 16, 17 years down the line, they're still married
Right.
and going strong.
True.
And what they're doing, that's what this book. There's a book that you also know the five love languages, right?
Right.
If you implement that, it will make it a whole lot easier.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. But I mean, again, I'm asking the question: if our past is that important to our present and future, because sometimes some of the things that will come out of the past might affect. Let's take for instance prison.
I think it is.
Let's take for instance prison. A man might have gone to prison for doing something wrong, right? He learned his lesson. He did his time. He learned his lesson. He came out of prison and he's determined to make it right for himself. But because society knows that he was arrested and jailed for or sent to prison for a specific crime, they all move away from him. He's trying to move forward,
yeah.
and every step, every time he does put something in place, thinking that it's going to make things better for him, the past rears its head and kind of throws him back into a whirlwind. It's the same thing with relationships. There are some people who, there are people right now that I know that would say, if I had known what then, or if I'd known now what I know then, I would have never been in this relationship.
Well, that is why I say you should let the person know about your past.
Make them so that they can make a decision.
Exactly. So that later on in the relationship, it does not become a problem. Decide now. Do you want me because I did X, Y, or Z? Are you okay with having a relationship with me? All right. You don't. And the funny thing about it is sometimes you don't hear from. If you don't hear it from the person,
you will hear
somebody
from
else will, and then that's when it messes it up.
But you see, the thing is, how many of us have that conversation going into a relationship though?
Well, I know for me, I do. I don't want you to come. Don't come into my life and then 6-7 years down the line, I hear, he killed somebody. He had killed a man and gone to prison.
Especially, with our younger people, they get into a relationship based on what they see, material things and that kind of stuff first. And then they get to they put all that first. So a guy has a nice car. He's a nice. I'll go out with him.
Well, I'm old school. So
he can take you out and show you a good time. I'll go out with him. And then they start learning who the person is. But by then, some of them are already caught, in the nice things.
Nothing is too nice to let go.
Now you know who you blame for that.
Who do you blame for that?
You blame the parents, because if you teach your kids the fundamental of life.
Exactly.
Well, and I agree with you.
They need and want, right? They will not let somebody's stuff,
But you see, the thing is, our West Indian parents.
What somebody could give them, because first of all, now you got an expensive car, but guess what? I didn't work for it.
Right. I got it through other means.
And that is the reason why you find when people get married and stuff like that, a woman feel like everything that the man have, she has to get a half of it, even if she met the man with all his things.
Right.
If divorce should come about, you want half of the man things. Where were you when the man was working for his things?
But the thing is, just remember too, our mothers teach our daughters to find a man that can take care of you.
Yeah, find a man that can take care of you. I don't have a problem with that.
But to me, I think the teaching really should be to learn to be independent, learn to have your own.
Yes, I agree with that
and
too.
then that would allow you to acquire your own. But if you do find a man that has or can take care of you, that should be a bonus.
Exactly.
And too many of our West Indian parents, especially mothers, teach their daughters that, and they don't break it down for them. They just tell them, make sure you find a man who could take care of you. So in her mind, a man with money. And a man with money is supposed to have a car. He's supposed to have a house. He's supposed to look good. He's supposed
like
to have money. He's supposed to have his job, and that's what they look for. So for them, they don't care about what they do to present themselves. Okay, I need to get an education. I need to do this. No. Find a man with money. That's all that rings in their head.
Anyway,
caller, thank you very much.
I'm not going to hold up the line because Tamara need to call.
Yes, we see. I see her trying. So Tamara, thank you very much, caller. Tamara, it's your time to call now. I know you want to get your two in. She's been calling. Yes. Tamara, we're waiting for you. Come on up. We got a few minutes though. Time really went fast today, I tell you. We're waiting for Tamara's call. But that's the thing. I mean, we teach our children to not to defend our own, not to work for our own, but to take or expect from everyone else. You know, to expect from what everyone else, and that's I think one
wrong
of the biggest,
mentality.
the wrong mentality when it comes to bringing up children. You got to teach them the basics. You got to teach them the fundamentals of life, and one of the fundamentals of life is taking care of yourself. Let's take this call here. Good morning, Tamara. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm good.
You're getting a good laugh there this morning.
So, I need to speak to Suzette.
Yes, ma'am.
Suzette, you remember what you were speaking about? Yeah, what you were speaking about, saying why is it that when you ask a man to do something and he doesn't do it?
Yes.
You see what just happened there a while ago? They changed the topic. They never addressed the letter the person wrote.
Tamara, you know, it's just there sitting thinking about the same thing.
Tamara,
Tamara, I was just sitting there thinking.
Tamara.
I looked at the letter and I said, but we have not addressed this thing yet.
Tamara,
let me tell you.
Be warned. Jesus is listening.
Sense. What they said was.
Be warned. Jesus is listening. You remember yesterday Jesus cut you off. Remember yesterday Jesus cut you off.
The problem was flow Wi-Fi. Right now the flow Wi-Fi is perfect. So let me tell you.
Hello, what kind of bad publicity you're giving to Flo right there?
Flow was a. Anyway, so I said they never address the person. The person's
in the letter.
So what would you say to them, Tamara?
I said that I would never be caught in, and I think Suzette said that too. She'd never be caught in a situation like that, and I believe that it's.
But you never give no advice.
Yeah, get out of it. Get out of it. I think mate's getting it good, so he doesn't care, right? And again, it goes to show how low our standards have become. Where a girl is telling a girl it's okay for you to date my ex. Long time we're not having that. If you want a man, walk to Vieux-Fort and go find one.
Like
walk to Choiseul.
Like very young people.
Yes, it's young people's mentality. They
like young people.
They don't care.
Like, and then they're saying, okay, well I like to see him too, and but any mature.
No, not that. I like to see the two of you.
We'll never.
At the same time.
We'll never agree to that.
Right.
We'll never agree to that.
True.
So,
all right, Tamara.
Let me tell you, the fella playing the two of them.
Of course.
Yes, he is. He is.
The ex should have encouraged her girlfriend. Say, look, I'm gonna drive you to Salty Bus.
Lord have mercy.
or to Choiseul, any part of the country, and find you a nice fella.
Oh my God.
Why do you have to want the same man that I just broke up with? There's no men in St. Lucia. There's so many nice guys in St. Lucia. Go find one of your own.
Exactly.
Or maybe as the girlfriend knew, that sometimes girls they talk about their relationships with each other, and maybe he was nice to her, good to her, and she just wanted a bit of that. So, anyways, that's it for us. We have time. We're out of time. Tamara.
Yes.
Call earlier next time, okay? Have a good day. Susie Q, and that's my advice. I mean, I don't see why it is that she had to date the same guy that her best friend was dating.
Yeah.
She could have found somebody else.
But as you say, maybe she just wanted some of the good stuff.
Yeah, the good stuff. Or she could have gotten it somewhere else too. I mean, like I said, down Chozel, Salty Bus, Denry, everywhere. They have lots of nice men in St. Lucius. St. Lucius is full of good men.
I hear you.
Yeah, no, you hear me? I want you to say yes. Say yes.
I can't say yes to that. What you telling me? I don't know.
Man versus woman. I want to say thank you very much once again for being with us here. Join us tomorrow, same time at 11. Man versus woman. We're out of here. We're running. Bye-bye. Huh?
You know, she's running out.
She's running out. All right, Cindy, we out of here.